burp into the microphone. Okay. Let me just look skinny first. Remember your side onto the camera. So you look skinny. Hi.
Hello from the couch.
As you can hear, that is not Eisha. That is not a hot little blonde sitting there. Introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm just the hot brunette from the house.
From the house. You've been allowed into my studio.
From the shed to the studio.
You've really made it. This is my husband, Terry. Feels weird, doesn't it?
Very weird.
But once we start talking, I think it won't be so weird.
I'm excited.
Are you?
Yes.
Yes, well, I had peer pressured him into it because I said on the Wildlands thingy, do you want to hear me yak or do you want me to get Terry on? And you all bullied Terry to come on, so look happy.
I'm excited.
You're on camera too, so you can smile at the camera.
Oh, g'day.
Yeah, so we got some questions that people sent in. Nothing too serious. I'm not going to...
Bamboozle me.
No, you're not going to be in here for like 2 hours. Depends how good you answer the questions, I guess. So I've got my clipboard ready.
Maybe, but depends how drunk you get me.
That's true. How many cans are you on?
But a few now.
Yeah, well, we're not sponsored by Solo, but as Eisha and I say, we would be happily sponsored by them. All right. I can't think if there's anything I wanted to talk about first before, say, yakking. You're very going to be interested in this, but I got my eyebrows done. How good do they look?
Very good.
10 out of 10?
Well, you didn't come home and it looked like someone sharpened them on.
Sorry, Bernadette, if you're listening. Jesus. I've gone platinum blonde, so I can't have big black bold eyebrows anymore. And Bernadette did what did she do again, Terry? Do you know what they're called?
Strokes and lines. Paintbrush.
Yeah. She did a lamination with no dye, and it was the tits. So go to Virtue Artistry and get your eyebrows done. Just a sneaky plug to my friends. Anyone else want one? Do you want one? Hello. Cool. All right. You want to get started? You nervous? First question. How much do you earn a year? My first question for you is, how did we meet? People want to know how we met.
At school.
Technically, yeah. We went to our good Christian school together.
I wouldn't say good, but it was a school.
It was a Christian school. Yes? You got to go more than that, Terry.
Oh, do I?
Yeah. You can't just say school and then go next.
It was a good answer.
I only have like 6 questions here, so we'd be here like a minute and a half.
Oh, okay.
You know?
So maybe how we got together then?
Well, we met in high school.
Where we were just good friends and then separated after school.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of found ourselves hanging out again.
Yeah. Did we find each other on Tinder first?
No, it was Snapchat.
Was it? Bloody Snapchat.
Yeah, you messaged me.
Mm.
Told me you had a dream about me.
That's true. I did have a dream about you. I can't remember what it was, though.
And it was my first day being single.
And you're like, here it is.
Yeah. I was like, God
God damn it, I've been single 24 hours. Yeah, that is how we met. I don't know. Again, yeah. I always say, like, oh, yeah, we've only been together 3 years. Or then I'll say, like, Terry and I in high school. And people are like, so you've been together since high school? It's like, no.
I wished.
Oh, we don't have to get into that. People will think I'm an asshole. Not that I did anything bad. I just friend zoned you.
Yeah. You did.
I did. Well, we'll circle. Maybe this question probably starts with that first one, then we can go a bit more into it. But someone said, how was it dating a single mum?
I don't suppose it was any different to... Well, it wasn't that different from when we started because my roster that I was on was week on, week off. And then we used to catch up mainly on the weekends.
It's true.
And that was when Fletch was at his dad's.
Yeah.
So, for me, to start with, it wasn't that bad at all.
That's a good point. But we also need to remind everyone that we got pregnant within 3 months. So
yeah,
we didn't really have much of a like a honeymoon stage.
Yeah, we're spontaneous.
Wasn't it ever? The day before you were supposed to go to Egypt. Wasn't it 2 days before or something? 2 days before you were meant to go?
Something like that.
That is fucked up. I think you can swear. I don't know. Eisha and I swear, so.
I guess, but yeah. No, that definitely did suck. It was, flying away for this job that was
The dream job.
Yeah, the dream job. Good money and heaps of time away, which would have sucked anyway. But yeah, then we found out that you were pregnant.
That's right, because on one of our more dates when we were gonna be boyfriend girlfriend, we'll make it official. You're like, all right, well I'm going to Egypt, so like, are we doing long distance or what? And I was like, yeah, I guess we're doing it.
Yeah,
That was pretty much it. I mean, I say that was probably like our third date.
Yeah, we had a few.
We did have a few. So I guess then back to how we met. So, well, not how we met, but how our relationship has gone.
Good, I think.
No, I didn't need a grading. A plus. No, I meant like, so, we started talking again since not talking really since high school. Had like a 3-month buffer, if that. Found out we were pregnant with Loki. You were in Egypt for a couple of months. Come back.
14, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Nearly 3 months.
Then you come back for, a month? And then you left again for New South Wales.
Where I was stuck for 4 months.
Yeah, with COVID. And then you come back a week before Loki was born. So
Yeah.
you missed my whole pregnancy.
Where you're the most crabbiest ever.
You don't know that.
Perfect.
You weren't fucking here.
No, I was here for the second one.
So then we had Loke. Oh, when you come back for that brief month, we got engaged. Maybe you could tell everyone our engagement story. That'd be really nice. Men, if you're listening on how to propose to your wives, take some notes.
Yeah. We went and stayed at a hotel, and we went and watched a comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
And then that morning I woke up and said, do you want to get engaged? And you said, oh, I guess. I said, cool, let's go buy a ring.
I hope every little girl out there listening gets that proposal of her dreams.
But, I mean, it's probably not the best way to propose, but you did get to choose your ring.
I did get to choose my ring. And we spent all day in Hobart trying to find opal, wasn't it? All I wanted was an opal ring.
To know what would be worse, you getting proposed in a horrible way like I did, or wearing a ring forever that
I didn't like.
that you hated.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know which one's worse.
To be fair, what would you have bought me, do you think, if I didn't choose? Bear in mind, my ring is gold with a big black stone in it.
It definitely would not have been that.
What would you have picked? Something with little flowers?
Something traditional, I guess.
Yeah.
Like maybe gold with diamonds, I guess, normal diamonds.
Like one diamond or
Probably.
like a ring, like a flat?
Have a bit of audio editing to do, won't you?
It's all right. I'll just cut a little bit of that. Only a smidge. I like having us talk shit in it. People realise that we're humans. Eisha just vapes in it.
Does she?
Yeah, in some of
Like,
the videos.
against it.
Oh, I don't know if she's that close to the microphone, but... so that's how we got engaged. You would have chose a weird little ring.
You did make me get on my knee, though, because...
That's true. So we drove all the way home from Hobart. We went to like a million different shops. We were looking for... I wanted an opal ring, remember? And then the jeweler was like, nah, they don't last. Don't do that.
Yeah.
And then so then I kept looking and I don't know, I didn't like anything. I didn't
Until you seen the black sapphire or whatever
it was just a real dark blue sapphire, apparently, but it looks black. Everyone reckons it looks like a Princess Diana ring or Queen Diana. I don't know. She's just never the queen.
Never heard of it.
But everyone goes, oh, that's a Princess Diana ring. Like anyone in their 40s. I'm like, okay, fuck that means. I'm a princess, though.
But like I said, you got to choose what you wanted.
I did, but if I have any advice for anybody, fucking buy a set. Like buy an engagement ring and a wedding. Woo. An engagement ring and a wedding ring. Because remember, we had to spend like $2,500 on a ring that would fit it.
Yeah, we thought we got out of trouble by buying a cheap engagement ring, and then we end up spending an absolute fortune.
Yeah, the wedding
getting a ring suited to it.
The engagement ring was like $700 because it wasn't like an engagement ring.
Yeah, because you can buy them in sets already done.
Yeah, but we just got that because it wasn't in a set, 'cause it was an engagement ring. And then, no wedding rings would fit on it or around it. And it was
anyway, you live and you learn.
You do live and you learn.
At least we only have to do it once.
I literally tell everyone, buy a fucking set if you're going to propose. So, yeah, I guess then from more of the story, we got engaged, planned a wedding date, and about...
I don't want to talk about wedding stuff. It's just, we're so far past the...
No, I'm just talking like...
the anxiety and...
Oh, yeah, man. But like, I'm talking about stages. So we planned a wedding date.
Yeah.
Then in the June, when we were supposed to get married in the November, we found out we were pregnant again with Dexter. And I cried and I cried. My little eyes out. Loki was only 6 months old-ish.
It was very, very unplanned, that one.
Wasn't it?
Both of them were.
You know, all three have been. I wonder what it's like to see a positive test and be like, wow, yay.
Yeah, good us.
Yay. This is what we always wanted. Yeah, then we found out we're pregnant with Dexter, postponed the wedding, had Dexter, so 3 boys, and got married and all that sort of stuff. Got married last November. And then we've been pretty much cruising since. Right?
Oh, I guess you could call it cruising.
What do you mean?
Well, everyone's struggling at the moment.
Yeah. Which actually is a great lead up. It's like you've worked in radio. Great lead up to the next question. So everything's fucked up. Everyone's bills are huge.
Yeah,
So you work away.
heaps. Yeah,
You work away
always
heaps.
have really.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
work in mining,
You are a...
underground drill fitter,
So you fix the big drills.
fix jumbos and long holes underground. Not that anyone would know what that is, but I am not a diamond drill fitter.
Let's get that on camera. He's not a diamond driller. So someone had asked how you feel working away, but yeah,
I've done it since forever. So for me, it's even my apprenticeship. I worked away from home. So for me, it's just normal. It was not normal for you, which sucked.
Plus, your dad had worked away your whole childhood too.
Yeah.
So you've been pretty much in, like everyone on your dad's side worked in mining too, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, you got a taste of me somewhat nearly working home with 4 and 3.
Still not a 9 to 5.
No, but but you understand. It's like, when you have because I'm on 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off now. That 2 weeks home is a killer.
It's
so good. It feels like you got a holiday every time.
The 2 weeks, I always tell people, like, the 2 weeks gone is rough, but it's still long enough. Like, I feel like at about, I don't know, maybe the 8 to 9 days is when I'm like, oh, get fucked, just get home. Like, I can do a week's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, once it starts to creep. But I always just try to be like, all right, it's Thursday, you just got to get through the weekend, and then it's Monday, and then he's back Tuesday.
Yeah, but when you're doing week on, week off, then the week just goes so quick. And you're like, where did that go?
I mean, to be fair, the 2 weeks goes quick when you're home too.
But yeah, I just like it when you hit that 1 week mark when you're at home. You're like, oh my God, I've still got a whole nother week home.
It's crazy to work 6 months of the year, really. Like, you'd feel like you're working 6 months of the year. But then on the other hand too, like if we get invited to a wedding or something, if you're at work, that's just how it is, on the kids' birthdays.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that? I mean, maybe not so much the weddings, but like kids' birthdays and all that shit.
When you miss them.
Yeah.
Oh, it does suck. But like I said before, I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
Like I worked away forever and you'd always miss friends' birthdays or your own birthday. Most times always have my own birthday at work.
That's true. Christmas.
Yeah, missed a heap of Christmases.
New Year's.
So it just becomes mundane after a while. Like you just know it is what it is, but you'll catch up with everyone when you get home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like it does suck, but at the same time, like I get to spend, days with the kids, not just come home. Well, obviously you as well. But when you're talking about kids' birthdays and stuff like that, yeah, I've missed a birthday, but
you're also home for 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, and I come home and I get to spend the whole day with the kids.
Yeah, I know.
Not just, now the weekend's hit us and I've got to do some jobs because now I need to catch up or
I know.
something like that. Like I've got those few days to just get all the jobs done, and then after that, like today we went out to the market and we did this and we did that.
You didn't have the stress of jobs to do.
Yeah.
However, you are on workers' comp at the minute, so.
Yeah, I mean, especially now that it's winter, because you're not really doing too many jobs if you had a 9 to 5 because it's dark before you even get home.
Yeah, I know. I hear a lot of people now, probably more so than before, like years ago, are working away, whether they're mining or whatever. So many people are working away now because they've got to pay their bills. And if you want your wife to stay home with the kids or, not work full time, what other options do you have? Be a doctor?
Yeah. A lot of people try it and give up pretty quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely got to suit what you're after.
I think you just got to be probably in a mindset that it's shit.
Yeah.
It is just shit. But it's...
A lot of people say, because obviously I've worked at a lot of sites and a lot of places, but a lot of people go there thinking that they're just going to earn all this money.
Yeah.
And they're just going to be rich as, and then all of a sudden they're away from the family and they're not earning exactly as what they thought they were, and then they give up. You're not there because you're going to create this whole new lifestyle. Not today.
Yeah.
You did before.
Yeah, that's so true.
But now it just makes you not really fret too hard about the bills anymore.
Yeah, like we were saying before, like when your dad was working, I don't know what, like 15 years ago or whatever, he was on the same ish money as you, but
Then,
but the house was half the price.
yeah, that's
Like
right.
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, when I don't know, I think I was about 8 or 9. He was well over $100,000 a year.
Mm.
And back then, that was so much money.
Well, houses back then were what, 100,000? Oh, probably less than that.
And he was terrible with money. But the one thing he always told me was that he didn't really care what he spent or how he spent it. One thing that made him fret was if the washing machine broke and he couldn't afford one.
Yeah.
And, you know, as I was growing up, we'd have the TV break or washing machine or something, and we'd just go straight down and buy one.
Yeah.
And that's all he wanted in life, was to just not fret about money.
Yeah.
But, yeah, terrible saver.
Yeah, that's probably us, hey?
Yeah.
We are shit our savers, but if we really needed to come up with money to fix something that was broken,
Well, that's it. So
we'd
you're
be
not,
able to find it.
you know, you're not really, really struggling. But, you know, we do put in the hard yards.
Yeah, like it's one of those things, I think you have to sort of pick your shit. Like, yeah, it's shit to be away from your family and it's shit, you know, being away from everything. But you also want to be home and working a shit job every day and not have any days off and not have any time off.
And not only that, not have any money to do anything at all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, everyone's struggling at the moment, even earning really good money. We're still struggling. But, you know, we've got a huge amount of bills. But
Yeah.
at least we're not, like, really down in the dumps. You know, we're above sea level.
Yeah,
but
our house isn't being taken away or we
Yeah.
haven't got groceries.
we're above
or...
sea level, but we're definitely not the mountains.
I always just like to say, like, we are living. Like, yep, we can go out for a brunch if we want to.
Yeah.
And, you know, we could buy the kids new sneakers if they need to. But, like, are we going to Queensland next week for a 2-week
No,
holiday?
I mean,
No.
if we were smart, we'd cut out all our brunches so we could do
No,
that stuff.
no, cut it. No, we are not cutting our brunches. Next.
Anyway.
So I guess the next one was, what's your advice for families who work away? Like, what kind of advice would you give to a friend who was like, look, I'm thinking about working away?
It's really, really hard because there isn't really any advice that you can give anyone because you're either cut out for it or you're not.
Do you think maybe even just having time frames, like just push it out, not push it out, you know, do it for 12 months?
I think the biggest thing is make the most of your time when you're home because, you know, you've got all this extra time per se, but just make it a bit more, all right, now I can do them jobs, or now I can hang out with the kids all day, or now we can go do this all day. It's not just
an hour.
I get to see the kids after I finish work and then they're going to bed in an hour and then, you know, so make the most of your time when you're home and then that will make it way more worth it when you're at work. Work sucks. Sucks no matter where you're at.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, the days do get harder at work, but when you're there, it's just routine. Get up, do your job, you know, finish your job, call the missus when you go home, have a bit of a chat. And I know a lot of people, they do give up because their wife or partner or whatever, they are struggling harder than what they are.
Sometimes it's not just the person working away. Sometimes it's just the weight at home.
Yeah.
And I think you and I, like, not an argument that we have, but sometimes we're jealous of the other person where I'm like, you get fucking meals cooked for you. You get to sit by yourself. You get to have a room to yourself, not have kids yakking at you. Yeah. But I just see it as that. And I know a lot of other girls do going, oh, like he gets to go to the gym.
Well, that's the other biggest piece of advice is don't expect to go up to site because you've seen a bunch of TikToks.
What do you mean?
Well, there's heaps of people that get around and promote the mining industry because, you know, there's like a lot of the big sites. They've got pools, tennis courts.
Not your court. Not your...
No, we haven't got a pool, but we've got tennis courts, a big gym. There's like 2 gyms. So there's a cardio gym and a weightlifting gym.
Yeah.
Wicked pub, little mini golf course.
You're selling it to me.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, we work most of my days are well over 14 hours.
Yeah.
So by the time you get back, if you are, you know, like you're motivated enough, you do get to the gym for an hour. But then after that, it's quick go, have something to eat, quick get back to your room, ring your missus for half an hour.
God, you're in bed by 8:30. Sleep.
That's it.
And what, you finish work at, by the time you get on the bus and stuff, I don't call you till about 6:30.
Well, the only time you're actually like doing anything or staying at the pub too late, it means you're not getting enough sleep.
Yeah, which
So,
is important.
you
too,
know,
as
they
well.
do promote it, but you're still there for work. You're not there for a holiday.
Yeah, but you look at it from, not that I'm saying anything about that, but like as a mum who's just like overcharged, overhearing kids yakking, sick of cooking food, sick of cleaning it up. You're just like, that sounds like a holiday, but you're just like, you don't think I want to be home? You don't think I want to be home with the kids and with you and just chilling out and not fucking working 14-hour days?
Yeah, it's super hard
Sometimes,
though,
like, you think the
because
grass is greener, but
by
I
the
don't know.
time I go back to work, I'm ready to go back to work because
Yeah,
I'm
fuck them kids.
overstimulated with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, but you're doing that every day.
Meg and I always say, because her partner works away, that we're like, oh, that sounds so good. And then I always say to her, do you want to work 14-hour days? And she's like, absolutely not.
Well,
Nah,
not only
I
that,
don't want to do that.
Not only that, you go away from the kids for a couple of days on a holiday, and
Oh,
you
God,
go,
I'm in the car in the driveway missing them.
yeah, that's the hard part. You have to really disconnect your brain from all those emotions about missing, and
Yeah.
because if you're sitting there and just thinking about the family and the kids all day, every day, not only are you putting yourself at risk at work because it's dangerous work, but you're also just mentally going to kill yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you really have to be strong and disconnect yourself.
But like you said, you've been used to it your whole life. Your dad did it. Your pop did it. Your nan did it. Like every single human, every single dolphin worked at a mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at Rosebery in Tasmania, I worked there, my dad worked there, my pop worked there, and my great pop worked there.
Yeah, and then who knows how many uncles and shit on either end and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. But what was the question?
But you're
What's
used to
your
it now.
advice for families? Yeah, I'm definitely used to it now, and
I know you definitely prefer a shorter roster, but
yeah, I would prefer a 7-7 roster. However, I love 2 weeks home.
yeah,
But
you can't have everything though. That's the hard
you
part.
cannot have everything, and yeah, I don't know. If someone said to me like, do you want him to work a 7-7 roster, preferably drive in, drive out? I hate that you're not in the state.
Yeah.
I hate that it would take you so long to get home if I needed you. Which, I mean, it's never happened because I think you must have been working here when I was pregnant with Dexter. So it wasn't too bad. I knew that you were only a call away.
Yeah.
But yeah, if someone said to me, like, would you rather him work a 7-7 or would you rather him work a 9 to 5? I'm choosing the 7-7.
Yeah.
I get myself into a bit of a routine when you're gone. Like, and it's good to, I think, to miss you a bit.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, would we just kill
You
each
just
other?
wouldn't want to cook dinner for me every night.
Yeah, the kids just love a sandwich when you're gone. Some wheat bix and shit, they just love it. But yeah, my advice to the mums, it's fucking hard, but it's worth it, I think. It's worth the quality time that you get when your partners are home, especially if they're on like an even roster. Your kids actually get to see their dad more than just bedtime. Terry heard the water pump going and had to pause to investigate just dad things. He's like, who's running water in that
Oh,
house?
we've had dramas with the water pump, so
We have.
we're on rainwater and had a few little issues, and when that thing's running, it means there's possibly a leak somewhere.
Yeah, it's been happening for ages and we can't figure out the leak, so that's that, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
So
yeah.
I don't know what we we're talking about
Not here to
before.
talk about water pumps.
Well, sit down. We've got some stories to tell. So, all right. Pretty much, yeah, our advice with families who work and stuff I was just saying that, yeah, like it's shit house, but it could be worse. Like, not that it could be worse, but you could just have a dad that's only been able to come home from work after 6 o'clock for an hour, you know,
Well,
put
that's
the
thing.
kids
You
to
get
bed.
home at 6 o'clock, and then our kids, most of them, ready for bed at 7:30.
Mm.
So that by the time you settle down and sit down with the kids,
You got to watch maybe like a couple episodes or something and then bed.
Oh yeah, all have dinner and bed.
Whereas, yeah, we get to like... I mean,
Hang
not
out
that we
all
have
day.
been. Yeah, we get to hang out all day. We have 1 day a week where our kids are in daycare.
And we just get to hang out the day without kids.
Without kids. It's so good. We went to the movies. When was it? Last week or something?
Yeah.
So good.
Even though the movie wasn't that great.
What did we watch?
Bad Boys.
It was Bad Boys. It was pretty
And
shit.
we should have watched.
Mad Max.
Yeah.
Not that was very good either. The first hour was real good, and then the second hour was weird.
Anyway,
Fucking Mad Max. Oh, and Mad Max was in it for what? 0.3 of a second.
Yeah.
Well, his car was.
Anyway.
You know what? Don't get me started on it. I could do a whole podcast on it. All right. Let's move on from that. So another question someone asked was, what is your favourite part about parenting? Like, what do you love?
Kids laughing. Just making the kids happy, really.
Yeah, having fun with them and stuff.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, look, when they probably get a little bit older, it'd be fun having common interests and hobbies and...
It is hard. Like, we have 3 little kids. We've got Fletcher's our eldest. He's 6.5.
Yeah.
And then we have you got to remember, these people don't know us. They don't know who the fuck our kids are. So Fletcher, he's 6.5. We have Loki, he is 2.5. And then we have Dexter, who is, I don't even know, like 1.5 or something.
Yeah. Well, Loki's pretty close to 3 now.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
Like,
about
very close.
October.
It's like 2 3/4.
How dare you? How dare you?
But, yeah.
So, yeah, they're still only quite little. We still have 2 in nappies and, 2 that nap. Well, if Loki decides he wants to nap. And then Fletcher's in prep. So he's everyday school now.
I don't know. So I guess the highlight was like, today where we took them to the park and they were just running around and happy as, laughing and giggling. And
yeah,
I think that's what it's all about. Just making them pretty happy and laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And all you want is them kids to grow up and just remember happiness. Not
all I want them to remember is like, I just want them to be close. 3 boys. I just want them to be like, best mates when they're older. I mean, I don't have a sister, but I imagine like having one the same, same gender, same, similar ages that you could just grow up with.
Well, they're all going to be really close, but I definitely want them to remember us as...
Yeah, that they always just had fun and stuff.
Yeah, just had fun and was laughing and nothing's too serious.
But it's so hard. Like, you get caught up in the mundane day-to-day shit and you're just like, fuck, I didn't even like play with them today and I didn't even...
Yeah, but kids don't remember that.
No. That's what I like to remind myself. It was funny, actually. I was listening to a podcast the other day, the Big Energy podcast. Shout out, Alex. And she had her mum on there, and she said to her mum, she's like, is there anything you regret? Ooh, there's a mouse in here, by the way. We need to get a cat. She said to her mum, is there anything you regret about our childhood? And her mum's like, oh, I wish I could have taken you on more trips and done that sort of stuff. Yeah. And she was just like, God, I don't remember that. She's like, all I remember is you taking us for picnics and doing this and doing that. She said, I felt like I was always out and about and we were always having fun. And her mum's like, that was so nice to hear. And I thought, that's so true. Well, that's what
the kids remember, though.
Yeah. She just remembered just going to the park and doing all this nice little stuff. And I think that's so true. We sweat the big stuff and just think, we've got to take them to Hobart for the weekend or we've got to do this or we've got to do that. But they just remember that you took them to the park once a week after school or like when we take Fletcher for ice cream after school on a Tuesday.
Yeah, he'll probably remember that.
Yeah, because the little boys
he doesn't remember everyone has their day-to-day.
Yeah.
And kids don't remember that. Like, I don't remember the day-to-day when I was a kid.
The day-to-day, yeah, it's hard. The day-to-day, I think, is still like their childhood a bit, but I don't know, you just got to try and... Like, I really want to do, like, movie nights on a Friday. I want that to be, like, our thing. That we sit down on a Friday and we all watch a movie. So easy.
But like you said, it's so weird what you remember from when you was a kid. Like, I remember my dad, he wasn't much of a fisherman, but I still remember this trip that we went away on when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And it was this big fishing trip and, we're getting lots of marron in WA. And
is that like a crayfish?
Yeah, it is like a crayfish. But I remember that trip. And we only did it once. You know?
But you remember it.
I remember it heaps, yeah.
How old were you, do you reckon?
Maybe 6 or 7.
God, that's Fletcher's age.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That guy has, like, memory now.
Yeah.
He's going to remember everything.
Well, not everything. Like, but, we were just saying.
He'll remember, like, the bigger stuff. We're, on the note of bigger stuff, we're hoping, I don't know, do we say it on a podcast what we want to do next year? We're hoping that we can...
Of course you can.
Okay, well, if you say it out loud, then you're kind of going to do it. Otherwise, people are going to shit on me.
I had this sort of epiphany at work. We've got a second property, and it's like a holiday shack. But at this... what?
What's it like?
What? It is an old shack. It's not a nice shack.
It's I don't know, a building?
Yeah, it's just like a tin shed it was knocked up in the 70s.
Knocked up is correct. It's held up by cinder blocks on one side.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it, though, it is neat and tidy down at Granville Harbour, West Coast.
It is, at this point in time, it's not that affordable for us.
No, we don't get down there.
At all. We haven't been out there in over 12 months. We've just been so either busy with kids or actually can't afford to spend the fuel.
Or the four-wheel drive's broken.
Yeah, all the four-wheel drives broken. It's just everything's gone wrong,
Every time. Yeah,
and it just hasn't.
I haven't been there, I don't think, since Dexter's first Easter, which would have been almost, like 18 months ago or something. You've been there,
Yeah,
but only for a boys' trip.
Yeah, but at this stage, like, how is it worth having anymore? So, the idea is that we're still paying a mortgage for it, loaned off our current property, like our main home. But if we sell it,
Maybe move your head closer.
if we if we sell it, then well, what are we going to do with the money? We either pay off the mortgage or
Tummy tuck, boob job, Botox.
But I had a bit of an epiphany at work, and I just thought I've been doing this same thing for 10 years, and at this point in time, not really getting anything out of it.
And we've also blinked and have 3 kids, and one's almost 2.
Yeah,
and we've just done nothing.
We felt like we haven't done anything for so long, so kind of just went, you know what, fuck it, let's just sell that property, and let's use the money to travel Australia. Quit my job for 6 months, and we'll just go.
Yeah.
And then after 6 months, I guess, work out if we have any money left, or do I pick up some work along the way, or do you continue your photography along the way? Who would know? But let's just go with the flow, and we'll have to homeschool Fletcher along the way. But but who cares? Like, at least if we're gonna do something like that, it's got to be then, because we never have the money ever to do it again.
No, we definitely have to sell the asset.
And then do it.
Yeah.
Because if we sell the asset and then we don't just do it, then that money will go elsewhere, or
because we're not very good with money.
No,
like
we're terrible with money.
We'd end up with just some stupid car. And
oh,
some
absolutely,
bikes or something.
Yeah. we both love like JDM cars and stuff, so a nice Skyline will probably pop up, and we'll go, oh well.
Well, we'll come up with the money again.
Yeah, we're really bad. We're
be
very
like
spontaneous
covered in tattoos. Rowan would be like, "There's a day free." We're like, "Yeah, well, we've got money."
So if we sell it, then we have to go and we have to do it.
So we've got to buy a caravan, and we're going to get a different 4-wheel drive.
Yeah. So we've got a petrol 4-wheel drive at the moment, but
it's a 4.8 Patrol that uses 600 litres to the.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But not only that, when you're in remote areas of Australia, you're pretty strapped for cash for 98 fuel.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing.
So something diesel is everywhere. So that's what we'll do. We'll go for another diesel.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's our game plan. How the fuck did we get to that? Oh, it was about what our favourite parts of parenting was. So obviously, like something like that, we've got this big goal, and that's going to be something that. I don't think Loki and Dexter are going to remember it. Fletcher will. But God, we will remember that we travelled Australia with our kids for 6 months in a fucking caravan.
But yeah, favourite part of parenting is definitely just making them happy. Making them have a laugh. It doesn't have to be much. That's the biggest thing.
That's what I have.
They're just so happy with fuck all.
Fuck all. I know. That's what I keep finding. Like, these Tuesdays that we spend with Fletcher. So on Tuesdays is our day without kids. The kids are at daycare.
All they want is time with you.
But we go and pick Fletcher up from school at 3 while the babes are still at daycare. We go and take him for an ice cream, take him to EB games, and he is gleaming.
Yeah, you can't.
He loves it.
The biggest thing I think is you cannot buy your kids love.
No.
You can't just buy them something and think, oh well, fuck, I've done well.
Yeah.
No, they would rather not have something and just spend every day with you. That's all they want to do.
Yeah, that's so true, isn't it?
Which is great about, like we said, with me roster.
Yeah.
It's like they're not just seeing me at night and just going, hey, Dad, oh, all right, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And
Fletcher counts
you go
down
out
the
and
days.
do your photos and bits and pieces like that, and I'm just hanging out with them. I'll jump in their little rumpus playroom that we've got, and,
Yeah, even Fletcher, all he wants to do is play Mario Kart with you, or play a board game, or read a book. And he will remember that. I really try to make 20 minutes a day where I've spent with each kid doing something that they want to do. Dexter just wants to pull shit off the drawers, or pull cords off the wall, or look at the fish.
But yeah, I suppose, and then for me personally, it's I guess my biggest thing is just
stop playing with that.
Really happy that they want to spend time with me.
Yeah, I saw a thing on Instagram the other day of this fella, and he was on holiday, and he's like, yeah, my biggest advice for parents is just spend time with your kids, 20 minutes a day. He said, because now I've got a 13-year-old that doesn't want nothing to do with me. And I was like, oh my God, that is so fucking sad.
Well, I think by the time, I think when you know that you've done right is by the time they're an adult give them their grace period of being dickheads when they're 18 and 19.
Yeah, and then they'll come back.
And then, but by the time they're like 20, 21, 22, if all they want to do is like hang out with you and go camping, if that's our thing. But if they just want to go camping with you, even when they are 18, like, then you know you've probably done right then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like my nan. All 3 of her kids on weekends now, they all just spend time with her, like my uncles and my mum.
Yeah, well, that means...
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Well, that's when you know that you've done right.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly right. So what has been the most challenging thing that you've found?
With what?
Parenting. Like, what is something that surprised you that you've like, damn, this shit is hard?
I mean, I think it's...
Parenting?
No, nappies.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I've got the nose for it now, but do you remember when I first started?
There's that viral video of you on TikTok, remember?
Oh, yeah.
With like 200,000 likes.
Yeah, I asked you to delete it.
Yeah. And yeah, Terry was sniffing Loki's butt and you could see like the liquid poo down his leg.
Well,
but
just
you
all
didn't see
spiraled. Everything spiraled on TikTok because I was like making a joke. I was like, here you go, mum.
Oh, yeah. And everyone's like, what a dog dad.
Yeah,
doesn't change his kids' nappies.
Like when I'm home, it's like 50% of the nappies that I change. And I'm like, fuck. Like,
that's actually a good point to smidge all the way back up to about you working away. I think it's really good. That's a good point to say. When you are home, you
there 100%
you
of the
never
time.
ever say,
I've
like,
been
as
at work
soon
all
as that
day,
fucking
yeah.
plane hits the ground, you are fucking dad. You are dad. I mean, we have our day off because that's the day you come home.
Yeah.
Is when we have no kids. But you are straight back into it again. You'll cook dinner if if I'm with the kids or whatever. You are fucking feet to the ground, ready to go as a dad.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I've heard some people that, the dad goes, oh, I've worked away for 2 weeks. So this 2 weeks is for me or, weeks for me. It's like, grow up. Like, grow up, right?
Well, I mean,
what's your view on that?
Look, if you weren't working as well, I would definitely be like, well, that's most of your job.
The kids or like house?
Oh, a bit of both. I'd still feel like you probably, if you weren't working as well, then I would definitely feel like you definitely do need to do most of the work around the house, like in the house.
Mm.
But, because you're working as well, I can't sit there and say, oh, well, it's all about time, and it's definitely not about money. I hate people who go, oh, I earn more money. And it's like, well, okay. So what? You will possibly have like 4 or 5 photo shoots in a day.
Yeah.
And although at the end of the year, you probably haven't earned as much money, but you still put in a hell of a lot of time. Yeah. I'm not going to expect you to come back from a photo shoot and be like, anyway,
like 6:30.
Anyway, we're waiting for dinner.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
But like, I definitely feel like, you've had a big long week while you're still juggling kids and photos and editing and all this crazy stuff. Barely had a minute to yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come home and, I just don't think that would be fair.
I think we've always been really good at, if the whole picture's 100%, some days I'm the 80 and you're the 20. Some days you're the 80, I'm the 20. Sometimes we are just straight down the middle, 50-50. Like, I think we've always done a good job of being able to pick up when the other one
It just is what it
doesn't.
is.
Yeah.
Shit needs to be done, we get it done.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
it. That's all that it comes down to. Like, it doesn't matter who did what.
Yeah.
It's just all about making sure
it's done.
Everything's done, and the kids are in bed asleep and got their tummies full of food and, don't smell really bad.
That's exactly right. What a great segue onto the next question. When I said I wanted to start doing photography, what did you think about that?
I was happy because...
I was happy.
Well, because you didn't really have any sort of direction.
No. So when I did decide I wanted to do photography, I was... God, I need to stop playing with that. The microphone, pick it up. I was still working in childcare at the time. And remember I sold my quad bike? And
I hated childcare, though, because it meant, like, I'd come home and then you'd be away all day.
Yeah. Like, I
that's
actually had to
what
work,
I hated.
like, 10 hours, or, 8 hours or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I hated, because I'd be, like, fiddling me thumbs at home, like, Where is she? Yeah.
Well, when I first got my camera, remember I sold my quad and you were like, you should buy a camera. And I was like,
well, because you've been talking about it for so long.
I need to save this money or whatever. You're like, nah, spend it. Go buy yourself a camera.
Well, I just said I'm earning enough money to support us. So if you've got a bit of spare cash, use that, and then
So I went and bought, $500 camera and lens kit
yeah,
and stuff. And then Terry did photography in grade 10, so he thought he could teach me how to do photography.
I did kickstart you a little bit.
Let me get into where
You used too many
kickstarted
big
me.
words, and you're like,
Terry can't teach me, and I'm sure everybody with husbands or whatever, or the other way around, your spouse just can't teach you. I don't know what it is. It's
maybe
just
I
a thing.
should have. I try and over-explain things as well. Maybe I should simplify it a little bit.
I couldn't figure it out, and I thought, fuck this, I'm never going to be a photographer. And then remember that workshop come up, and you're like, paid for it. You're like, fucking go to this workshop and let someone else fucking teach you. But yeah, I think, because someone had asked that. But I think you've always been the biggest supporter. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be taking photos.
Yeah, I kept on pushing you to be like, well,
But
I mean, I just knew that, like, I just didn't want it to just be a hobby. Like, you know, if you just made it a hobby, well, then it was always just going to be an expense.
Yeah.
You know? And you needed something to do. You needed something
But
to
the
keep
timing,
you stimulated.
Yeah, and the timing was really good because when I first got my camera and then I did my workshop, I was still doing childcare, and then I went on maternity leave, and then once I did maternity leave was when it sort of all kick-started.
We can only sit around the house for so long and then just go, fuck this.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But I don't know. I could just juggle the kids. I was a single mum for like 2 years, so that was fine.
Yeah.
Juggling kids. So it was like,
Well, juggling a kid is a bit different to 3 now, but
at the time. But at the time, it was Fletcher and a little baby. It was easy. So, I mean, I say easy. I'm sure it was hard at the time. But,
yeah.
I could, we have our 5-acre property. People would just come here and get their photos taken.
Well, that was the biggest benefit as well, because
Massive.
it was something that you could do from home.
Yeah. And then, we had the dining room set up as a studio as well.
Yes, and then I had to give up my bar. Not that I had to, but I just thought, well, if Maddie's going to actually do well with this, I mean, she needs somewhere to take photos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember, you're going to do that barn shed up in the back
Well,
paddock?
that was your suggestion.
To be fair, looking at it now, I was saying...
No, I measured it out. It was way too small.
No. Eisha and I sent her a message the other day, and I was like, this would look cool with like big glass windows all around it. But I would also have this. I'd have 2 studios.
Yeah, so no. That's my storage shed. I've had to sporadically put everything everywhere because you took one of my sheds.
Yeah, well, that's true. But yeah, no, Terry's always been my number one supporter with it all. You've always let me have the time to do it. You've always let me, spend the money on it.
I've helped you out with financially a little bit, like when, you definitely needed a bigger camera. You had about half saved, and I was like, all right, I'll chuck in the other half.
And I think that's a great point too. I've been so lucky that I've been able to do photography as a full-time job, but that's because you've got bills sorted. My money, we always just joke and call it funny money, but it is. My money isn't paying our bills, and it's not.
It's definitely helped us out when we've run out.
Now it really helps us and all that sort of stuff.
Then,
but back then, my money was just, putting sort of back into this.
God, inflation killed us.
Inflation has fucked us over. COVID tax or whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, I think that's a good point. For anyone that is thinking about doing photography and all that sort of stuff, I was just fucking lucky that, you could just hold the fort down and, invest and help me to be able to 3 years later.
Yeah, but you're so
that I'm making an income. Now I am, yeah. And now that I've already, I've got my studio and I've got my camera and I have my lens and I've got my lighting and I've got my fucking computer and I've spent so much fucking money.
Yeah, you spent heaps,
but now I'm just rolling. I got my subscriptions once a month. And
yeah, we still got more.
So much of
definitely still got more to spend with the photography. Like
they can't see the roof, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, the studio needs finishing off.
Yeah, for sure.
And probably some better lights as well eventually.
Yeah, well, they're still my eBay lights.
Yeah.
But, they fucking work. So.
But it's all just progress. I mean, you still need money for home.
Yeah. And that's so true. You can't just fucking just dive straight into it, You got to
bit
by bit. And that's exactly what I've done with photography, hey?
There's no point. There's definitely no point spending all the money.
Could you imagine if I said, hey, can I have 15 grand?
Yeah.
Can I have 15 grand so we can do a studio and a camera and a Mac computer?
You definitely need to prove yourself first.
So
to yourself, if anything, not anyone else.
How long do you think it took before you were like, fuck, all right, she's into it
About
now?
a year.
Yeah.
Would be about
that's probably
right.
true.
I mean, once it started to get like serious, because before that it was like a shoot here and a shoot there, and then it all started out kind of, I'm not going to say crappy, but it wasn't anything what you are now.
Yeah.
And then better, and just continually got better. Where it was like, wow, she's good.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, cool, fucking have me bar. All right, cool. Now we're gonna plaster the
Yeah.
bar.
And fucking, yeah. And like, Terry, you were out here. You were plastering, because I don't think you would ever let me plaster. You painted all the concrete in here. You've helped me hang stuff. You've helped me go pick up random shit to put in here.
Yeah, definitely needs some installation and some more plaster and.
Like I said, they can't see from up.
Yeah.
So, so don't worry about
It
that.
definitely needs finishing, but you know, that's the business has supported itself since probably the sliding door.
God, yeah. Like, I was just thinking, you know,
'Cause that
how
was the
much, but that
last
was
thing.
like $4,000,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
well, that was the last thing that I financially helped you with. After that,
You
everything.
didn't pay for the we went halves in it.
It was
didn't
still halves, yeah, same as your
we? Like
camera.
a glass sliding door was like, yeah, $4,000.
Yeah,
And you just forget about all that little shit.
yeah, it all adds up real quick. You
Real
know,
quick.
Probably spent 20 all up,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
here we are.
Here we are,
And actually,
making $100 a month. No.
yeah. But I mean, most of the money you make now, we kind of pocket. I mean, you still spend a fair bit back in like linens and bits and pieces because
Yeah,
you
for
want to change
sure.
your style a little
Wardrobes
bit,
and all
yeah.
that sort of stuff. But yeah,
But
definitely.
the majority of it's just pocketed, which is, you know, now you're self-sufficient. I don't have to give you any more money now
Nah.
at all to pay for anything,
No,
which is fucking awesome. That means that you've made it. Like,
I'm at the top.
yeah.
Look, am I earning $100,000 a year? No.
Oh, you still got a ways to go, but
But I'm also not paying for a mortgage and fucking fuel. Well, I pay for fuel sometimes.
well, that's what I was
And I
saying
definitely help us
before.
out at the tail end of a pay week. So
Oh yeah, we spend a bit too much money during the week, and then we go, "Fuck! Well,
My
lucky
money-
you got a job."
yeah, my money's brunch money,
Yeah.
coffee money, op shop money.
I just noticed that, like, you know, at the end of the week or something, when we're coming close to my payday,
Mm.
there's no money in the account, and then you say, "Yeah, no, I went and did groceries today," and I'm like, "How? How did you go do groceries?" And I thought, "Oh, hang on, she's
Yeah,
earning her own money.
because we
Forget
have
about that."
our joint account and then my account.
Yeah, well,
Only because that's just
our
how.
money, and then
Yeah, that's right. My money.
Yeah.
No, that's just how it's worked out, okay? All right. So, we're nearly finished. What makes you proud of me in photography? This
In
is a photography
photography.
podcast.
Well, I mean, we pretty well just touched on it just then.
I know, we're amazing at these segues.
Yeah, it's the self-sufficiency now. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, your photos are getting better and whatever, but I think it's just, I think where I'm most proud is how business savvy you've been. Not so much your photos, because if you do something over and over again, you're bound to get better at it anyway.
Yeah.
But to make something into a prominent business and then promote yourself and get more clientele, that's where I'm proud, because that, I don't think that can really be taught. I mean, it
No.
can, but you've pretty well picked up on it and you're pretty smart.
I am pretty social media savvy.
Yeah, I mean, that's one part of it. And then obviously there's smartness behind a lot of that. And yeah, I think that's where I'm most proud, is because a lot of people would go, "Oh, I take good photos and I can't get anyone." And it's like, well, you know, you've taken good photos, and in a few stages you go, "Oh, well, there's no one messaging me," and then you go, "Well, I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do this," and then you do all that, and then all of a sudden you're just booked out for the next month,
Yeah.
you know, and that's what separates you from a lot of people, is you're smart.
This blonde's fake, isn't it?
Wow,
baby?
yeah, whether it's, yeah, it'd have to just be business savvy or, I guess, people savvy as well.
Yeah. Can we finish that 10-pack? I think you had like 2 more than me, though.
Yeah.
I think I had 4.
Who knows?
Who's keeping count? Not me.
Good on us.
Good on us. Hey, cheers.
Thank you.
Oh, was it so scary?
I
I just whacked that microphone, so it's going to make a shit noise.
Well, I had a few drinks, so that's what.
Once you sort of get into the swing of it, you kind of just think that you're talking to like a million people, like they're listening. But it's not as scary as when you first sit down and go, "Hello, I'm fucking nervous."
Hello from the shed.
Hello from the shed.
Yeah.
That is all the questions. There was a few more. but I lost them, so sorry about that. But yeah, anything else you want to add? Feel like there's anything we didn't cover that would paint a good picture of you and I?
No, not as far.
No. Well, I love you very much.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me on. No, hang on, wait. So, Eisha and I always do a Would You Rather at the end of our episodes.
Okay.
Would you like it? It's pretty fucking gross, if I'm honest, and I don't really have an answer for it. It makes me feel
Was
sick.
this someone that asked something, or is
No.
it?
I find these myself, and this is the
How
most fucked up one I found.
Okay.
Well, not fucked up, because...
So you tried your hardest to find this one.
Well, the last one that Eisha and I did, because I know you don't listen to my episodes.
Well, I don't
Do you
listen to
tune
any
in?
episodes.
Do you tune in? That's true. You're not really much of a podcast man.
Well, I used to be, but now that I'm not driving anywhere,
Yeah.
because I'm fly in, fly out now, not drive in, drive out.
You know what? I'll allow it. But the last one we did was, would you rather... Oh, I actually can't remember what it was. Something about your parents walking in on your rootin'. Or you walking in on your parents' rootin'.
Oh.
Ugh.
Got me to do the Would You Rather.
No. I have one. No, but then Eisha went into this big story about how her dad walked in on her and Jez rootin'.
Oh.
And I was
okay.
like, holy fucking moly. All right.
Well, there's always the blokes one at work.
Sure.
You
You know what?
wanna
You're the guest. I'm going to do mine too because it's gross. But
Well,
yeah.
this is literally a staple for especially with apprentices. You always got to ask them the question. And it said, would you if your penis was...
No, I knew that's what it was going to be. If you're in or out.
Yeah. But you always have to ask the apprentice
Just say
that
it.
question.
Just say what it is.
So what would you rather? Would if you were in front of your mum and then you was just away from her, or your dad was behind you, would you push in or go back?
That's fucking disgusting. What's your answer?
Go back.
That's disgusting.
Me dad's dead.
He could still be there in spirit.
All
I
right, what
guess.
was yours?
Mine was, would you rather have teeth for hair or hair for teeth? And that just makes me feel ill. Could you imagine hair in your mouth being like...
Yeah, I'd definitely rather teeth for hair, because how are you going to
But
eat?
that's so gross.
But how are you going to eat?
Nah, imagine like little hard teeth all over
Yeah,
your
I'll just
head.
wear a beanie every day. Or a hat.
No, yeah.
But if you had hair for teeth, what, you got to trim, and then you have to have, like, what is it? Like, blended food all the time?
I don't know, man. It's fucking gross.
Yeah, but...
Or is it like beard hair? Like, is it coarse? I'm thinking
Yeah, but you're still
long.
not going to be able to eat with it.
Yeah, I'm sure gummy people eat.
So you'd rather blend your food every single meal?
Like a million
Or
teeth.
would you rather wear a beanie?
I wear beanies every day, but I don't know, that many teeth on your head, but then you couldn't smile. Could you? Because you'd have hair.
Yeah, well, that's right. So, but you can still cover
Alright,
up the
I
teeth.
guess I'm choosing the teeth on my head, but that's fucking gross. Do they get cavities? Do you have to brush them?
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose you just let them rot out and then it's all done. Catch you later.
And your whole brain's just full of cavities. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. I guess you did very good. You did.
This
a
is
really good
Wildlands.
job.
Thank you very much.
No, this is my show. You were the fucking guest. This is my show. This was Wildlands. I can't remember what the fucking thing is. Follow us on our Instagram. It's Wildlands Education. Follow me on Facebook and shit. That's Maddie Page Photography. Terry, you don't really have anything to plug. You don't want anyone to follow you on Facebook, do you?
No, I do not.
But yeah, thanks for listening to us talk shit. And I don't think we'll ever get this man on ever again. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Can you hit the stop?